Hey Grande Alive, welcome to your weekly Newsish Roundup. I'm Will Bowman and...
I'm Alan McDaddy.
And we are here today to bring you the news only on the weekly Newsish Roundup. Alex, what is in our news today?
Well, first we're going to talk about a fundraiser for a condition known as Disautonomia that's going to come here soon. We have a very special debate coming to the Grande Alive TV.
Absolutely, very, very special. And you'll hear about all of that on your weekly Newsish Roundup, brought to you by our sponsors. So as you may or may not have noticed, for this story we are cutting out the music in respect for the seriousness of the subject matter that we are going to be talking about. What we are talking about today is neither jovial nor happy and is a very serious subject that, especially to the people that are involved, is life or death. Kim is a woman who lives in the Grande who has dysautonomia. Now, according to disautonomia.org, dysautonomia is a disease that results in the malfunction of the body's autonomic nervous system. And what that essentially means to laymen like you and me is that the body stops doing many of the things that it automatically does. So things like heart rate, blood pressure, digestion, dilation and constriction of the pupils of the eye, kidney function, and temperature control are all affected and begin to malfunction as the disease progresses. Now, you may not have heard of dysautonomia, but it is not rare. Over 70 million, you heard me right, 70 million people across the world suffer from dysautonomia in its many various forms. There is currently no cure for dysautonomia, but there are organizations that are working with people to live longer and better lives even with the disease. Now, Kim is a La Grande native who grew up here and still lives here after many years. She has 3 children, 4, 9, and 13, 2 daughters and a son that she loves very, very much. And several years ago, she was recently given a prognosis of 7 to 10 years to live. Now, that is 7 to 10 years to live. She is a single mom with 3 kids, and her doctor recently gave her 7 to 10 years to live, and it's been extremely hard on her.
Because of all that, they now think I have multiple system atrophy, which is one form of dysautonomia. There's a lot of forms. Unfortunately, the form I have is also the deadly form. When I heard that, it became a lot harder. I'm a single mom with 3 kids. You know, my youngest is 4, and I have a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old. So when the doctor told me that was my timeline, I guess I kind of took on the attitude immediately as, thank goodness you're not God. You don't have my timeline, because I have to live longer than that. Yeah. My little girl's 4. You know, she's only going to be 14 in 10 years, and that's not an option for me. So my mom and I started looking at other options.
Now, all hope is not lost for Kim. As I said earlier, there are organizations around the globe that are working and specialize in helping dysautonomia victims to live longer and healthier lives. And one of those is in Texas. It is called the POTS Treatment Center, and Kim is raising money to try to get to Texas to attend this treatment center and which would help her to manage her dysautonomia and possibly extend her life. But she needs money to go there. Now, Chris Pender is the owner and operator of a local self-defense class business, ATS Tactical Solutions. Kim recently started attending Chris's kickboxing class. Actually, that was several years ago that she started attending that. And through this, Chris began to see her and her family, who he teaches all of them, as his own family. And he now has a heart for her and her plight.
She was originally diagnosed about 2 years ago, right? And then just recently, they've basically decided that she's deteriorating fast enough to give her a 7 to 10 year life expectancy. There was a lot. I mean, that's a big thing, you know. A really close friend comes and tells you that they're not going to be around for much more than a decade. You know, nobody's really prepared for something like that. I mean, it's like somebody comes and says, "Hey, I've been diagnosed with cancer. I'm going to be dead next year." Oh my gosh, you know. Thank God this isn't that fast, but you know, lots of thoughts start going through your head. You know, what about the kids? What about her mom? What about, you know, and it was very sad, very, very sad.
As such, he has decided to throw a Mexican-themed barbecue coming up to raise money for Kim's travel to Texas.
I decided I wanted to do it because she's like a little sister to me, and I want her around as long as I can have her around. And the kids. I mean, her kids are amazing, fantastic kids. Two of them are in my class, my kids' class, and the youngest is 4. So I mean, a 10-year life expectancy is, I mean, that's a non-starter, you know. That's a no-go. We got to make her live longer.
Le Grande, we all have a chance to take part in this special event. It's going to be a Mexican-inspired barbecue, like Will said. There's going to be homemade tacos, burritos, nachos, salsa, guacamole, and ceviche. Beer is going to be provided by Tap That Growlers. There's going to be a silent auction, including for a rifle with optics included. It's going to be October 6th, tentatively at noon. All proceeds are going to go to Kim and her struggle with dysautonomia.
Awesome. And if you want to support her, go to this event. I know that I love homemade Mexican food, and I think, Alex, you're a big fan of Mexican food.
15 years in LA, you can't not love it.
Absolutely. So attend this event. Also share this story along so that more people know about this event and more can be raised for Kim's travel to Texas to treat her dysautonomia. This story was brought to you by
Hey, Le Grande Alive, I know what you're going to be doing Friday, October 5th. You're going to be watching Greg Walden debate Jamie McLeod Skinner for the U.S. 2nd Congressional District debate in the state of Oregon here at Le Grande Alive, starting at 7 p.m.
Now, Greg Walden and Jamie McLeod Skinner have been running against each other for Congressional District 2. And Alex, do you know a little bit about each of the candidates?
Well, Congressman Walden is running for his 11th term in Congress. He's been serving there since 1999. Jamie McLeod Skinner is a career public servant who worked in California and most recently as the city manager of Phoenix, Oregon.
She is actually from Terrebonne, Central Oregon, so she has her roots. She has described her upbringing as a democratic rural upbringing. Her parents, as she said, were rural Democrats, and she has made it very clear that she wants to right many of the wrongs that she sees.
But we shouldn't be taking money off the, out of the pockets of farmers and ranchers and college students to have giveaways for big corporations. I mean, that's not fair. That's not fair. And then big pharma, we have an opioid crisis. And I'm delighted that our representative is finally focused on this. In the time he's been in office, in the 20 years he's been in office, 4,500 Oregonians have died from opioid overdose. I wrote about this in an op-ed piece in January, and just in the last couple months, he started to pay it a lot of attention. That's good. That's good. But we also have to make sure it's not just another giveaway to big pharma. So our current representative gets the most money from big pharma of anyone else in Congress. Millions of dollars. More than even the Speaker of the House. He gets more money. So I've been seeing billboards around that say he works for us. And that's true. He works for the folks who paid for those billboards, and that's big pharma, and those are major corporations. And that's just, we have to pull this back. This election is going to be about people versus big money. And no disrespect for the individual I'm running against. He used to be that guy. He got caught up in the political machine of Washington, D.C., and he's just not that guy anymore.
The debate is being held by KTVZ-TV in Bend, which many of you probably don't have, but we recently called that television station and got the rights to be able to rebroadcast the debate on Grande Live at the same time that it is going to be streamed in Central Oregon. It is going to be next Friday night at 7 p.m., like I said, on Grande Live. Now, there's one hiccup in the plans that still needs to be ironed out. Jamie McLeod Skinner still has not agreed to the terms of the debate. While the debate is currently going to be only 30 minutes long and held in a closed television studio, she said that she desires the debate to be 90 minutes and held in some sort of a public open forum. Now, we don't know if this is going to affect whether the debate happens or not, but these are some concerns that Jamie expressed in a letter, according to Oregon Live, to Greg Walden earlier this week. So long as this debate happens, we will be rebroadcasting it on Grande Live on our website and quite possibly on our Facebook page. This story was brought to you by And that's it, Grande Live. That's your weekly Newsish Roundup for this week. It is a beautiful night out there, so you should go and take advantage of it. We'll see you next week. I will be hobbling a little bit in pain. I've got a marathon that I'm going to be doing this weekend, so probably about the time we're recording next week's Newsish Roundup, I'm going to be a little bit sore. So, yeah. So, thanks for tuning in to Grande Live. One more big shout out to our sponsors. I'm Will Bowman, and
I'm the co-host formerly known as Alex McAdid.
And this is your weekly Newsish Roundup. We'll see you next week, Grande Live. Tune in next time. No one's gonna get that except for you.
Everybody's gonna
get that.
No
one is gonna get